Hey, what's up? It's Adam. In this video, I'm just going to give my thoughts on the Canon EOS RP, and I've been using this for a little over a week now. And this is not a crazy in-depth review. I'm actually making this to give sort of a newbie explanation to how I feel about this camera, and basically some thoughts I want to share with people who do photography reviews. Because I'll just say it right off the bat, I think this camera is a great camera. Now, it may not be a Leica M10P or whatever, but it's a great camera for what you're paying for and what it actually comes with for many different reasons. And this is a newbie perspective. This is really to explain, hey, is this a good enough camera to look good on Instagram and look good on YouTube? And I'll say, if that's all you're looking for and need the answer to, yes, it's more than good enough for YouTube and Instagram. All right, so before I go on an even bigger rant and go too long on a rant, I'll just give you an example video and some example photos right now. As you can see, it's more than good enough for a social media post and to do some YouTube videos. And that's all I wanted to know. And when I first got this in my hands, I noticed it was really lightweight. The fact that it came with the 24-105 lens made me feel like I wasn't wasting my money because that's a good enough zoom lens. And that's how I see it from the perspective of what I'm doing. Is how much kind of concave is it going to give my image depending on how zoomed in or cropped I'm in focus with the lens on. And how much zoom is it going to give me from a distance depending on what I'm taking a photo of. That's how I view a millimeter lens. I don't go, ooh, you know, how much aperture and ISO. I'm not there yet. So that's all I'm saying. This video is for anybody else who's a newbie who's thinking, hey, I only have enough money for EOS RP. And a lot of photographers give this camera crap, and I don't understand, because I think what they're not explaining is who is this camera for. Because I think where they're coming from, and I understand where they're coming from, but it's kind of like audiophiles when they review Bose headphones. They'll be like, oh God, these headphones have terrible noise, poor quality, it's quite poor. And I'm like, well, to who? I mean, if you're using $3,000 Sennheiser headphones because you professionally make beats, well, you need to say that. You need to put things in proper context so people know where you're coming from, and they never do. It's kind of like when I was looking at cameras. It took me having to actually try this out in the store and actually having to take a risk on the Sony a7C, which is what I'm using to record this video now, to finally even see if it was worthwhile. And when I first got this camera in my hands, I noticed it actually isn't even that big. I mean, it's a pretty small camera as far as compared to what else I've seen in the bulkiness of other cameras. I mean, the only thing that's kind of big on this thing is the lens, but even then, I mean, it's easily one-handable. I mean, I was walking around without a strap the other day. That sounds funny. I was walking around without a camera strap the other day, and I didn't have any issues just using this and going like this the whole time I was taking photos while I had a coffee in my hand. I was just walking around downtown where I live and was like, wow, I feel so confident having this in my hand and being able to adjust everything I need without any issues. And it's my first time, this was the first mirrorless even besides the Sony that I used. And I'm amazed at how far camera technology has gotten. I mean, I came from the Nikon D5600. Not only does it feel like it's slow, but the zoom and the autofocus is not that good at all for a standard camera. I actually kept using my iPhone over that camera, which is kind of embarrassing to say given it was a DSLR. I felt like it was a difficult camera to use. Now, compared to this, I just love how if you look in the viewfinder, how you can actually just see everything you're adjusting. You can adjust the ISO, the shutter speed, you know, the settings, everything. Not many people explain that in camera reviews. And me being a newbie, I can't believe that's how far technology has come. And it sounds funny me being overhyped on these little things because there's some people that are way past where I'm at with photography. But I just wanted to mention it because I didn't even know that because nobody even mentions it. So before I go too much on a tangent, I'll actually also post a link to my video of the Soundcore Liberty Air 2 Pros. I did that with this camera. So the photos in that video and the thumbnail, all of it was done with just this camera and of course the shotgun mic. But other than that, I mean, in my opinion, I thought that was a really good video. So after kind of going off on my frustration with getting stressed out at looking at camera reviews, I would say, in short, from a newbie perspective, if you're wondering, hey, is this camera good enough to start a YouTube channel, do social media posts, have clean and crisp looking thumbnails for your videos and for whatever you're posting on Instagram? I mean, I will say when the iPhone 12 came out, I've always been impressed with quick food photos I've taken of this, or quick selfie videos, or when I was going on hikes last fall after this came out, how good the video was and everything. But it doesn't compete with a mirrorless camera, and it's not going to compete with this Canon. I mean, because even the battery is good enough, and a lot of people give it crap because of the battery. Yeah, it's not the best thing you can get out there, but for me, I've never really had to charge it after using it for a couple of hours. I mean, how long are you going to use your camera for if you're just looking at an entry-level camera? So I'm glad I bought it. I think it's a very worthwhile camera if you're looking for something as a newbie. It's more than enough, and I hope this helped, just giving my perspective from somebody that's totally new to cameras, and hopefully I explained it simply too, which is probably most important. But thank you for watching. Have fun if you end up getting this camera, and I'll see you guys on the next one.